Hi, I'm Max. This is the Color of Law video discussion. So, number one, what surprised you as you read The Color of Law? Was this history known to you? What surprised me was, first of all, I never really thought about how there is residential segregation still always. I mean, like, my where I live, for example, mostly just like white. We don't have a lot of diversity. This history was not very well known to me. It's not something that I've done much research on. It was interesting the author talking about the asthma rate in African American children being so much higher, which could lead to a lower achievement like rate or whatever. And I thought that was very interesting because I didn't know that there was a lot more asthma in the African American communities. Number two, what do you know about your own community and your local zoning policies during the 20th century? How segregated or integrated is your community? What would you like? What would it look like if your community were required to have its fair share of middle class, minority, and low moderate income housing? For my community, I mean, honestly, it's just like I said, it's mostly whites. There's probably only like if any, like just a few African American families here. So I'm gonna guess there wasn't a lot of segregation in the 20th century, just because I even like if there's so little amount of African Americans here now, I can't imagine that there was any of them or hardly any of them in the 20th century while segregation was happening. Um, if I mean, I just again this whole question just I feel like it doesn't apply that much to my community because it's just we just have such a low African American population. Number three, we typically expect to understand two sides of a story. Is there anything missing from The Color of Law that might modify its argument? No, I personally don't think so because it's just, I mean, the information's there, the facts are there. They presented it all. It's just, it never switched over when segregation was ended, and it's just, and maybe people just feel more comfortable around their same race and like subconsciously, but it never changed after segregation. Number four, if your community and or school are racially segregated, has this resulted in fewer interracial friendships? What are some consequences of missing out on cross-racial friendships? I mean, yes, definitely it would miss out on some interracial friendships because you're not around them nearly as much. You're just around people of your race because they're segregated, they're separated, they're not going to be around you or by you. But you're missing out on like cultural opportunities, like learning about different cultures and just being around different cultures can help you grow as a person and really find who you are. Number five, what is one thing you'd like to do better? You'd like to better understand about your home or community and how you came to live there. For me, there's not a lot. It's just I just came to live here because that's where we moved. There's no like racial reason for specifics. Number six, were you surprised that Chief Justice John Roberts got his facts wrong, as Rothstein states? Who else have you seen get their facts wrong? Was this history known to you? What about how it is shared? if you have learned this history, where did you learn it? Um, I don't think it's that surprising that he got it wrong. I feel like there's way too many people that look at like a small picture or look at what they want to look at and just completely avoid the truth, even though it's right there. Um, People get their facts wrong all the time because, like I said, they don't look at what's actually happening. They just look at really what they want to see or just a small picture, like somebody who's like just they get a glimpse of what somebody said or is like, and they think that that's what they're like, but really they have to pay attention to the whole thing and really get the good idea of what actually was said or what actually happened. Um, yes, I have learned about this history before of um, when black families move into white neighborhoods and mob violence happens and they get kicked out uh, or they just get terrorized. In high school, we read a book called A Raisin in the Sun, which is about that. A poor African American family comes into some money and the man buys a house for his mother and for them and in a white neighborhood, and basically the first thing that happens is a the head of the neighborhood committee or whatever it is came to the house and at first seemed nice, but then told them to leave, that they don't have African Americans there and they don't plan on starting, basically. Number 7, what are your unanswered questions that you have after reviewing this documentary? Just basically, are there still like uh, things that are happening to try to increase diversity everywhere and lower residential segregation?